Good evening. My name is Laurie Anderson. I am the president and founder of Broomfield Clean Air and Water. We have members from over 20 communities across Broomfield, and we are simply concerned residents. Our mission statement is protecting the citizens of Broomfield from the adverse health, safety, and environmental impacts of oil and gas exploration and drilling within residential communities. We want to ensure the health and safety of our community. Per Extraction's S-1 filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, they cite hazardous and risky drilling operations. If the investors need to know this, shouldn't the residents? Our concerns include air contamination, leaks and spills, migration of chemicals underground, and accidents, among others. As concerned residents, tonight is your chance to ask questions. Please submit them. Questions that cannot be answered adequately will go on to the Oil and Gas Task Force. So this is my question, and you can think of your own. Will the air contaminants stay on the pad or regulated setbacks for all phases, including drilling, fracking, flowback, production, and reclamation? BTEX, benzene, toluene, ethylbenzene, and xylene, and other contaminants are highly elevated during flowback. Just because they have 99.9% recovery VOCs during production doesn't mean they have that through all phases, and we want that monitored. So this is the outline of Broomfield. This is our home, and we want to protect it. From the Broomfield webpage, this is the red zone map. These are areas where new well pads are allowed consistent with the COGCC setback regulations. You'll notice that your open spaces are not excluded. These are all places that an operator in the future could permissibly drill based on COGCC setbacks. This blue area is Extraction's net acreage as of June 30th, 2016 from their U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filing. This is only Extraction's acreage. This does not include other operators' acreages. So this appears to be just the beginning of residential fracking operations in Broomfield and neighboring communities. Looks like they're kind of moving south down from Weld County and towards the more populated areas. So again, this is Broomfield. So zoom in on this northern area. This is the impacted area. Okay, so this is the area they have shown you where it doesn't look quite as residential. Northwest Parkway is running right down the middle horizontally. And here are their proposed well pads. The Lowell pad with 29 wells, the Sheridan pad with 26 wells, the United pad with 42 wells, and the Huron pad with 42 wells. There are now 139 proposed wells. On May 31st of last year, Extraction presented a plan to the Broomfield City Council at a study session at the Health and Human Services Building with 24 wells total. On October 25th and 26th of last year, Extraction presented a plan to our HOAs with a significantly different plan, now with 140 wells, so we're back down one to 139. So how did we get from 24 to 139 wells in a residential neighborhood? Please ask Extraction and your council members. There is also talk of a pipeline, but it is not in the contract. Extraction has a development in Triple Creek. They promised a pipeline, but there's still no pipeline there. And if you actually speak to the residents of Triple Creek and Windsor, they feel differently. They are not happy. So let's take a look at some of the development in this area. This is the southern portion of Anthem Ranch. The homes closest to the Lowell pad are complete, with this little bit of construction still off to the west. And those homes go all the way to Highway 7. A lot of Anthem Ranch residents. This is the newest construction area, and they're building, I don't know how many homes, it's quite a few homes, and a brand new Anthem K through 8 school. And that is under construction. Anthem Highlands Lookout Village is nearly complete, and this section here is actually complete. And this is Anthem Highlands Lookout Village with construction moving rapidly forward. Some of these homes are actually now occupied, and many are under construction. You can note that these homes are just over 500 feet from the proposed Sheridan pad off to the east. This is PRA, Prospect Ridge Academy, is complete and open, and many homes are being built in that area right now. This is North Park. No construction is underway yet, but there's plans for commercial buildings, possibly a tech school, and more homes. The plan is to build up this area as well. And these are the planned $1 million homes on the hill southeast of the Lowell pad, and they are already moving dirt in that area. This is our Sienna Reservoir. Many of you enjoy riding and biking around there, and kids playing at the park. Soccer fields right there. And this is our Broomfield drinking water reservoir, which is under construction. The proposed Lowell pad would be just 500 feet from the edge of that drinking water reservoir. The Lowell pad is at a higher elevation than the reservoir and the adjacent Anthem Ranch homes. So what effect would this elevation have in the event of a leak or spill? Contamination of drinking water reservoir could affect all of Broomfield. This is the transparent red area shows a 500-foot border around the edge of each pad. This is the minimum required setback by the COGCC. If you notice a couple, especially the Lowell pad, that's as close as possible to homes and reservoirs as they possibly can be based on that setback rule. This 500-foot setback was set by the COGCC, but what is it based on? This appears to be an arbitrary number. Previously, a large-scale facility was 8 or more wells. What about if there are 26 wells, or 29 wells, or 42 wells on a pad? These new proposals are much larger in scale. It is time for the COGCC to revisit the setback distances and base them on scientific and medical data. Setbacks need to be based on factual evidence. The COGCC defines a large-scale urban mitigation area as any pad with 8 or more wells and 11 homes within 1,000-foot half-circle radius, or 22 homes within a 1,000-foot circle. These red regions now show the 1,000-foot setbacks around each pad. At build-out, there are enough homes for both the Sheridan at 29 wells and the Lowell pad at 26 wells to qualify as large-scale urban mitigation areas. And there's 42 and 42, they do not apply. However, this classification does not address the health and safety concerns. This is very close to homes and a large number of wells. Eric Jacobson just said that they would drill west to east. With this approach, they will be, in a sense, experimenting as they drill their largest sites right next to our community. We'd just like them to consider to the east. 21% of Broomfield's water supply is from reuse. The lavender areas are the reuse areas, reclamation areas, and the purple lines are the reuse water lines. This is the pad locations again. So areas of reuse water collection are near the proposed pads. If there's a spill or leak, and if contaminants enter reuse lines, they could impact all of Broomfield and not just remain localized. Many of you are aware of the Anadarko well release that occurred on January 23rd of 2017. Anadarko is a reputable company, and I would assume also uses best management practices. Anadarko lost control of this well when a crew was taking final steps towards producing from the wells. The release from the well continued for more than 1 day. Oil, gas, and drilling wastewater reached a distance of 2,000 feet. As of January 30th, 2017, still over 4,000 gallons of unrecovered oil and over 28,000 gallons of unrecovered produced water. Only one home was evacuated because there was only one home in this area. This is our neighborhood again. If the same type of well blowout occurred in a residential setting, the outcome would be significantly different. So showing the same spill superimposed on the Lowell and Sheridan pads. This will of course change by well location, wind speed, and wind direction, but here the impact would include the kids playing at the park, residents enjoying the trails, could affect our drinking water supply, and the forced evacuation of hundreds of residences and potentially schools, along with major road closures. What are the plans if a catastrophic event occurred in our area? And this is directly from the Colorado Oil and Gas Conservation Commission website. This is extraction, oil and gas spill, and release information. Over the past 2 years, there were 18 spills and releases which met the COGCC reporting conditions. 7 of these spills were legacy, have been going on for a long time. 9 were at modern facilities, smaller than the proposed one that they're proposing here. 6 of these incidents were due to human error, resulting in 200 to 300 barrels of oil and produced water being spilled. We have many more health and safety concerns. Please be sure to submit those questions. It is now my pleasure to turn the presentation over to Anne Marie Byers from Wildgrass.